Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. Oh my god, I'm so excited. My name is Brielle. That's B-R-I-E-L-L-E. Not Briley, not Brianna, not Brianna, Brielle. And I am that's T-H-A, singing naturalista. So the concept of this channel is it's a natural hair vlogging and singing channel with a little bit of personality, actually a lot of personality. A lot of that, and a little bit of encouragement in between. I thought that this would only be fitting for me to start off this channel, start off this introduction by telling my story, and I titled it Herstory because my story could easily be any woman's story out there. So just sit back, relax. I know it's a long video, I get it, but guess what? It ain't gonna happen like that all the time. So sit back, enjoy her story, and I hope it encourages anyone out there. It's a story about a small-town girl who's overcome. So yeah, enjoy. Hello everyone, again, my name is Brielle, aka that's T-H-A, singing naturalista, and I'm just gonna give you an introduction as to who I am, a little bit of my story, and don't know why I'm doing this. I am from a town called Lynchburg, Virginia. Those of you that never heard of it, that's where Liberty University is. That's where I graduated college, but I have a love-hate relationship with my college, so we're not gonna talk about that too much. I am the oldest of 5. I'm 25 years old. It was only supposed to be 4 of us, but my little sister graced us with her presence at 4 years ago. So, and she's the most intelligent, feisty, spunky little girl you would ever meet, and I love her so very much. And my brothers, I love all my siblings. Growing up, I knew music was what I wanted to do. I asked my grandma, I was like, how long have I been singing? Because I never knew this, but she told me that I started singing when I was in a crib, like 2 or 3 months old, humming myself to sleep. And I see evidence of that because my little sister, when she was a couple months old, she did the same thing. And I'm like, wow, that's crazy. So yeah, I've literally been singing my entire life. Music was always in my family. Like my parents had a record player and they had all these old records. They had Earth, Wind and Fire, Parliament. They had Stevie Wonder, Marvin Gaye, James Brown, all of them. All these records, and my brothers and I would dance in our Pampers and our underwear and just, dance around the room. Like I would, try to sing. My brothers, and I would also try to play the guitar. I didn't even know that existed, but it happened. My other brothers, they played the drums, and one had the guitar, and we would have a little band, or I would put a towel around my head and pretend like it was long hair, and I would direct the choir and swing it around. So music has always been a part of my life. But when you have that dream when you're younger and when you grow older, you think that, the dream just kind of like lessens in view. So I thought that I had to get a job and go to college, and because I felt that music wasn't stable enough for me to be able to sustain myself. So I lost sight of that. And in 2015, I got married to my now ex-husband, and I put all my heart into being a wife. I loved being a wife, and I lost myself in being a wife. I found my identity in being his wife. He decided to go into the military, and so he went straight a month after we got married, he went straight into the military. Went to basic training in Texas, went to AIT training, or his job training in St. Louis. I mean, not St. Louis, but in Missouri though. And I would have to travel back and forth to see him. And we tried to get our first station in the States, but it didn't happen for us. We had to go to Germany. Our first station was Germany. So the base was actually called Spangdahlem. And imagine 2 kids, never been out of the country, always been with family, and we just had to uproot everything and move to Germany. And he didn't force me. I just felt like that was something that I needed to do. He told me that I could stay and finish school because I only had 7 classes left in my major. But I decided that I didn't want to be a part. So I decided to change my major to interdisciplinary studies and move to Germany. And of course, I became kind of homesick. It was difficult, that transition, but I didn't really get out that much. Stayed in the house a lot. Didn't really know anybody, so didn't really talk to many people. I didn't sing that much. I did sing at the chapel at church, and I met some really awesome people there, but, you know, it was a challenge. And all I had was him. He was the only family I had, the only friend I had. Oh, God. Don't cry. Not right now. Yeah, he was all I had. And I was homesick, so I decided to visit home around October to early December. And everything was great with us. He sent me flowers in a vase with our picture in it. He sent me chocolates. He sent me all this stuff. And I'm like, oh, he loves me and he's thinking of me. And so that was a great time. I got to visit family. I was rejuvenated. I was ready to get back to Germany. So I got back to Germany in December, and I was happy. Everything was good. I got home. He had bought me clothes, had things sitting out for me. I'm like, okay, I see you. But then a week later, my whole world as I knew it came crashing down. We had just went on a date at this food place that we could walk to all the time, which is why I had gained so much weight. But it was really, really, really good food. And we came back, and I was sitting in his lap, and I was looking at him, and I was laughing, I was smiling. I was so excited to be back with him. And all of a sudden, you could tell that there was a change in his face. And he was like, I need to tell you something, but I don't want to ruin the moment. I'm like, tell me what you gotta tell me. It's not that big deal, you know. It's okay. Just tell me what you need to tell me. And he was like, no, I need to. It's something difficult. And I'm like, I'm still like, okay, it's whatever. Just tell me. But then he told me that he didn't love me anymore, and he didn't want to be married to me anymore. And I thought he was joking. So I'm like, stop playing. Like, you stop playing. Like, I know this is funny. Like, just stop. Just quit. We only been married for a year. You can't fall out of love with me that quick. We've been together since 2012. How did somebody fall out of love? But he did. And so I did what my mother taught me and my grandmother taught me, was to pray, take some anointing oil, put it on his clothes. And he was like, I just, you know, I want you to fight. I want you to be angry. And I'm like, I'm not that type of person. I'm going to fight for you. I'm going to fight for us because you're all I got. You know, you're all I have. So we went to counseling. I did everything I could. But when we were at counseling, he was still talking about divorce. He wasn't even trying to fix anything. I would cook for him. I would bring lunch to him. He wouldn't eat my food. He would come home and just be so detached. He would show more affection to our dog than me. And I was still trying to hold on. I would lay next to him and reach out to him, and it was just nothing. But the final straw was, the second to last final straw. It was Christmas time. It was Christmas Day, actually. And I had no gifts to open but a card from my grandma. And I asked him, you know, if he was going to get me a present. And he said, we got money. You can buy your own gift. And it could have been some flowers. It could have been something, you know. But I slowly started to realize that he completely detached himself from being married. Like, I was no longer his wife in his mind. So the next day, I ended up having to go to the hospital because I was coughing up a lot of stuff like mucus, and I couldn't sleep at night, and so I drove myself to the hospital. German hospital, mind you. I'm by myself. Don't know. I can't read the signs. Don't know where I'm going. These people barely speak English. And I asked him, did he tell his, his supervisor or whatever they're called that I was in the hospital? He was like, nah. He didn't say anything. He's like, I'll be over after work. So I sat in the hospital by myself. And at that point, I was like, this is it. I can no longer fight for somebody that doesn't want to fight for me. So after that night in the hospital, I was like, I'm done fighting for you. I need to go home. So I went home. Well, the journey home was horrible. To get home, I had to take a military flight. And sometimes they have civilian flights. Sometimes they don't. This one happened to be just a military flight with no TV, no nothing. So I couldn't listen to music. I just had to sit there and think about what happened and think about how I would get home. I flew to New Jersey, and when I got to the train station, I only had cash. Only had a couple, a little over $100. I didn't have much money. And I only had a suitcase and a book bag. Everything that I owned is still in Germany. So I only had a little bit of money, and I only had cash, and I couldn't buy my ticket because it was around 3 in the morning, and the ticket place for the train to buy my ticket, it wasn't opened until 5 or 6. So I had to wait for it to open, and then I had to wait for the next train, which didn't come till like 1 p.m. So I had to sit in this train station by myself. It was kind of sort of dangerous. There was a lot of homeless people, and I tried to stay around a McDonald's that was kind of public, so I wouldn't be completely by myself and stay aware of my surroundings. And I didn't have mobile data at that time because my phone was German, so I had to stay near Wi-Fi so I can keep in contact with my family. But then I finally got on the train to head home, and sorry, there's something in my eye. When I finally saw my little sister and my parents, after stepping off that train, I was so overjoyed to finally be with people that loved me and had my back. They just embraced me and took my sister and I to Cheesecake Factory. They just made me laugh, and they'll never know how much that means to me. My parents, my grandparents, and my support system, if I didn't have them, I wouldn't be here right now. So I thank God for them. But when I got home, I knew that I couldn't stay in Lynchburg. So there was no opportunities there for me, and I knew I wanted to sing more, so I decided to move to the Tidewater area with my uncle and my aunt. Yeah, thank you guys so much, Uncle Ben and Aunt Tracy. I stayed with them for a few months, and I went through some counseling, and I started dating myself, figuring out who the heck I am, figuring out what I like, what I could tolerate, what I can't tolerate. I take myself to movies. I take myself to restaurants, sit by myself. I will take myself anywhere because I deserve to take myself somewhere. So, I ended up finding my place that I'm in now, and ended up getting a new job. I moved away from most of my family, so that was difficult. It still is difficult sometimes being alone. But I'd rather be happy and alone than with somebody who won't fight for me. So I am ecstatic. I am happy. I'm in a better headspace now. But there was one thing that was missing. Like music. I was so afraid of putting my voice out there. So afraid of, because I'm super critical of my voice. So all I had when people asked me, do you sing? Do you sing? And I would tell them that I sing. They're like, oh, do you have videos? And I only had these little 30-second to a minute clips of me harmonizing because I was so hypercritical of myself. But I was like, you know what? If I'm going to fall in love with myself, I need to fall in love with my voice as well. So what I did first was I joined this business, which I'm still in. It's called Amway. And they, and LTD, they put so much positive energy in my headspace. They told me that I could achieve my dreams and that I don't have to work a 9-to-5 to achieve my dream. It just takes putting your footsteps in the right direction. And, you know, I'm like, I'm doing this business and I'm looking at these people and how passionate they are about it. And I'm like, I don't feel that same passion about this business quite yet. But what I do feel passionate about is music and my hair. Like, I love doing my hair and I love singing. So I decided to step away from my biggest distraction, which is social media. And from the end of February to most of the month of March. And I'm like, okay, Lord, what is it? What do I need to do? Where do I need to go? How can I get my voice out there? And how can I make it creative? And I'm like, okay, I know I'm passionate about my hair. I know I'm passionate about my voice. And I'm like, well, what avenue can I use? And I'm like, well, I watch YouTube all the time. But I don't have the right camera. I don't got the right lighting. I don't got, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just came up with all these excuses. And I'm like, you know what? You got to start somewhere. 2018 is your year. 2018 is the year of shooting shots, reaching goals, and accomplishing dreams. So just take your footsteps in the right direction and let God do the rest. So I came up with the Singing Naturalista, and now that the mushy stuff is over, let's talk about this channel. So yeah, the Singing Naturalista. I was so excited when I came up with it, and I'm like, Lord, this is great. I hadn't seen any YouTubers put singing and hair together, so I'm like, this is innovative. We might be getting somewhere. So I came up with these different segments. I sent off an idea for a logo, which you guys have seen. I reached out to my youngest brother to help to produce some music for me, my theme music and my background music, which y'all are hearing right now, background music and my theme music. He produced all that. Thank you so much. I got headshots done. CJ Tokyo Brown, thank you so much for doing my headshots and my logo. I'm gonna link his stuff in the description. And I wore a couple pieces for my friend Alita Dotson. It's a shirt dress and a hat, which you guys will get to see the behind the scenes of my headshots in my next video. So yeah, I saw how passionate I was about it. I'm like, this is it right here. This is it. This is what I need to do. So you guys are witnessing the journey of someone who has overcame. I'm an overcomer. I'm not perfect. I'm not where I need to be yet, but you guys will get to see the journey of me starting. If you're watching this video now to wherever I end up, you guys will get to see this journey, and I'm glad you're taking it with me. When can you see me? Every Friday. So I'm going to be posting videos every Friday around 12:30 to 2:30, depending on when I take my lunch break at work. Okay. So 12:30 to 2:30 Friday. Look out for your girl. The videos won't be this long. I just had to get my story out there. I felt like if I was going to do this, I'm going to do this being myself, doing this, telling my story, doing this, telling my journey. And hopefully you guys liked it. Hopefully you guys watched the whole video. And if you watched the whole video, since you watched the whole video, if you could make it through this, you can subscribe. But first, like the video. comment on the video, share the video. Then I want you to subscribe. Then what I want you to do is I want you to go tell your mom and them, your daddy and them, your auntie and them, and your grandpa, grandma and them. And I want you to tell them about this channel. And if they don't have social media, I want you to get them one. I don't know. But send all the names, auntie them, daddy them, send all the names back to this channel. Tell them about my channel. And it's lit, y'all. And this is it. This is the video I was gonna sing for y'all, but not today. This like 20 minutes now. I didn't know I was talking that long. Sorry, y'all. But last but not least, life may be hard, life may be tough, but best of all, man, life's lit. So live your life, okay? And that is it for me. What do you got to do your part, man? Send the names. All right, y'all. Have a good day. See you next time.